What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're back with some more NBA plays. We have a massive NBA slate tonight. Coming off was one of the worst NFL games I think I've ever seen, man. That game last night was terrible. And, you know, your boy almost ran both punters. It was 3.5 punts for the Broncos and then 4 punts for the Raiders. And I was like, you know what? This is what I'll run these punts, and it'll end up being a shootout. So I'm not going to touch the punts. And you know what? I didn't touch the punts, and both team had like 12 punts. So unlucky on that one. But, man, that game was not good for props. It was not good for any type of, pretty much player props. But anyways, guys, today is a new day. That slate last night was terrible. That's why you didn't see me post another NBA video, just because there was a one-game slate. I totally forgot it was a one-game slate. And then we had the Suns playing the Clippers, so it wasn't a great game to begin with, especially when the Clippers like to pull their starters early, man. Like, they were down 10 points and pull Zubac. Like, I don't get it, man. It is what it is. But anyways, I got hooked by Zubac. I needed one more rebound. Didn't play the fourth quarter because they were down 10 points. This doesn't make sense to me at all. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this slate, and we need to go ahead and pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. So if you're new to the channel, I do this in every single video. If this video gets 250 likes, I will randomly select one comment down below to win a free month of our VIP. Our VIP is where I post every single one of my plays. It's $25 a month, and you guys will get it for free just by leaving a comment, or at least you'll have a chance. So winner from yesterday's video, drum roll, is going to be for Rayvon Weathered. And I think that's ERD. I'm pretty sure. I can't really tell right here. But Ravon Weathered, I'm sure you'll know your name if you see it. But he said, I don't want to hate from the outside. From outside the club, can I get in? Well, brother, you got in. Send me a message on Discord. I got you added for that free month of VIP. Just send me a message showing a screenshot of your YouTube username, and I will get you added. But I do appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. Everybody who's commenting, everybody who's showing love, even the haters. Sometimes I let hate comments get to me. Most of the time I don't, but I do appreciate you guys as well. If you guys do want to join the Discord is free to join. I'd love to have everybody a part of the community. If you want to get all the plays, click the WAP link, and you can get every single slip that I personally play through WAP. There's an elite mentorship where I do it's going to be more of a mentorship style thing where I teach you guys from the ground up kind of thing. And then there's our regular VIP. Both get all the picks. Just pick the one you want to do. Right now, you can get 20% off any of our packages with code NBA. But that being said, guys, let's go ahead and talk about these games, and then let's jump in to some free picks. So the first game that we have on the slate today is going to be the Cavs taking on the Wizards. Now, this is a game that I'm just going to go ahead and put a big fat X on. I don't want to play this game, and I'm going to show you guys why. The main reason is the Wizards get blown out by everybody. They lost 29 points to the Celtics, lost 17 to the Knicks, lost 30 points to the Magic, 20 points to OKC. They kept one game close versus, every game just a blowout loss. Cleveland pretty much fully healthy now. They have DeAndre Hunter, who's probable, almost a fully healthy Cavs team. And I don't think I said Clippers. I meant Cavs, but a fully healthy Cavs team, and team's good, man. This is one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion. And going against the Wizards team, even I don't care if it's in Washington or not. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout. But what I'm saying is a 13.5-point spread, 240-point total. The Cavs are probably going to win this game. I would definitely choose the Cavs to win. But it could be a blowout for sure, and I just don't want to take the risk on this one. So for this one, not going to touch it. If you want to play something, you can. If you think this game stays close, it's probably going to be a gold mine for props. But if it does stay close, it probably will. So not going to be much defense played on the Washington side of things, in my opinion. But that game's going to be a scratch. Not going to be putting too much money on that one. Next game we have is going to be the Celtics taking on the Magic. This is a game that could go either way. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys. Magic right now are minus 138 at home, 3.5 on the spread, and a 226.5 total. Public betting has 61% of the money right now on the Celtics, 55% on them covering a 3.5-point spread, and then 77% of the money, so almost 80% of the money on the over on this total. These two teams both looking, I ain't going to say okay. The Magic look pretty rough so far. Let's take a look at the Magic first. So the Magic are playing at home tonight. The Magic are a team that you would expect to be pretty good. Their lineup's not bad at all. Don't have very many injuries right now. Nothing really going on that side of things. They should be a pretty decent team, in my opinion. Struggling, man. The only teams they've beat, Charlotte, that's not even a flex. They blew out Washington. And then they beat Miami in the opening game of the season. So when they beat Miami, I thought, man, this Magic team might be tough. They've lost to any good team they played, man, other than Miami. Just lost to Atlanta, got destroyed by Detroit, got beat by Philly, got beat by 12 by the Bulls, and then lost by 4 to Atlanta in a close game. So they've lost to Atlanta in back-to-back games. So it's hard for me to trust this Magic team, but this Magic team has a lot of talent, and at home it's hard to not give them some type of credit because every one of these games have been on the road. 5 straight games they have been on the road, and they're finally back at home. So this could be a spot where they get a dub. They beat Miami at home. The 3 games at home, they're honestly kind of close. Not that bad. They had that 12-point loss to Chicago, but other than that, these are pretty close games. I could see them pulling out a win because this Celtics team isn't anything super special right now without Tatum. They have a decent lineup. They're playing better than I expected. They beat Washington last game by a large margin, but they lost to the Jazz, and then they got blown out by Houston. So any of these, I ain't going to say any of it. They're kind of hit or miss, really. I mean, they barely beat Philly. They did beat the Cavs, which I thought was, honestly, I didn't think they would win that game. They beat the Pelicans, which is obvious. They lost to Detroit, lost to the Knicks, and then lost to the Sixers in the first 3 games of the season. So for me, it's hard to trust either of these teams. I think this could be a bounce-back game for the Magic. I like the Magic money line at -138. That's probably what I'm going to take. I think they're going to get this win at home. And, 5 on the road games. It's tough. Neither team on a back-to-back. I'm going to run with the Magic on this one. So that's going to be my call for this game. I think this game could be decent for player props. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, I don't play many players from the Magic team because no matter who I take, they always sell. Desmond Bane has never been a player that I personally like to put money on because he always sells me. Banchero is the same way. And then Wagner has been somebody who usually cashes me. But the last couple of times I played Wagner, man, he just hasn't been, he does the opposite. So I'm going to fade Magic players. I like Jaylen Brown in this lineup. Jaylen Brown's been popping off, and I think this could be another game for him. I think he's definitely going to be needed in this game if they want to keep this game close. And I like Jaylen Brown tonight if you want to play him for something. But in terms of actual props, I don't know exactly what his lines are off the top of my head, but I do know Jaylen Brown's probably going to have a good game. Next game we have on the slate is going to be the Pistons taking on the Nets. The Nets are plus 400 underdogs at home, 10.5 on the spread on this one, and a 226.5 total on this one as well. Public betting has 70% of the money on the Pistons, 93% on them covering a 10-point spread, which is pretty crazy, and then 70% of the money on the total. Now, the Pistons have been a powerhouse. They're 6-2. They're going against the Nets team that's beat up, 1-7. Neither team on a back-to-back, obviously. The only 2 teams that would be on a back-to-back would be the Suns or the Clippers, but this Brooklyn team's struggling a little bit, man. There's injuries on both sides of things. The Pistons are missing Tobias Harris, Jaden Ivey, LeVert's questionable, Marcus Sasser. If you look at the Nets are going to be missing Cam Thomas. Drake Powell's probable, which doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but Cam Thomas is out from this game. So who do they have, man? Michael Porter Jr., they got Claxton. They have some players, obviously, but this team just doesn't look super strong compared to this Pistons lineup. And they did just now beat the Pacers to 112-103 in Indiana, which is a pretty big win. It's the first win of the season for the Nets. But if you look at this Pistons team, man, the Pistons have just been dominant. I don't think the Nets get an upset here. I do think the Pistons just win this game outright. I'm not going to say it's a blowout win. I don't know about this 10.5-point spread. I'm going to be honest. In terms of these, I'm probably just going to fade the sportsbook plays on this one. I do think we're getting some value here on some of these players, and I like this game overall in terms of player props. Partially. But for me, it's the Pistons all day long. I'm not touching any sports books on this one as well. Next game we have is going to be the Rockets taking on the Spurs. We have the Spurs plus 155 at home, 3.5 on the spread, and then a 223.5 total, so a pretty low-scoring game here. 46% of the money's on the Houston Rockets, 59% of the money on them covering a -3.5 spread, and then 44% of the money on the over on the total, so 56% going under. Taking a look at these 2 teams so far this season, both teams looking strong. Both teams on, it's the reverse, man. You got to look at what's going on here. Rockets started out 0-2, 5 straight wins. Spurs started out 5-0, 2 straight losses, and they lost to the Suns. Lost to the Suns and then to a beat-up Lakers team. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Your boy's I'm still half sick, and I feel like I'm about to die. But anyway, Rockets look strong. Spurs look pretty good as well. Spurs are obviously playing at home tonight. This is going to be a game, I think, a good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout win or anything. I got the Rockets winning this game, though, if we're going to be honest. This Rockets team just looks so strong. Steven Adams is questionable. He might be out. Obviously, they're missing Finney-Smith and Van Vliet. Spurs side of things, obviously still missing Fox. Olynyk's questionable. Sohan's questionable. Not anything that is super major or super concerning to me. Obviously, Wembanyama's going to be the beast in this game, matched up against Sengun. It's going to be a good game. It really is. I like Amon Thompson in this game. If you're looking for player props, I think Amon Thompson's going to be a good play. Durant could be a good play. I don't like playing Durant anymore. Durant was a wagon last season for me. I'm kind of fading Durant this season. After seeing that opening game, what he did, I can't trust him anymore. So Sengun and Amon Thompson are really the two looks that I'll look at on this team. On the Spurs side of thing, I like Castle. I think Castle could be a good one. You got Champagne, who could be a good one, and then we have Wembanyama. So I think those are the three players that I'm looking at from the Spurs side of things if I was going to select a player. So overall, I got the Rockets minus 146. You're going to probably see me put some money on this one. I think Houston does get a dub here tonight. Both teams are 5-2. This is in San Antonio, so this could be a coin flip game. Spurs at plus money might be a good move as well, but I just think the Rockets are the better team, man. This Rockets lineup just looks really, really solid to me, regardless of how good Wembanyama is. So that's just going to be my opinion on this game. Looking at the next game of the day, one of my favorite games on the slate. We have the Raptors taking on the Hawks in Atlanta. Atlanta minus 121 favorites at home, minus 2.5 on the spread, and then the total in this game sitting at 235.5. It's a 50-50 split on the money line. 90% of the money is on Atlanta minus 2.5. No way I'm playing that. Minus 2.5 for 90% of the money. I see it's plus $100, and that's why it's the plus 100 that you can get on Novig right now, which obviously is going to lead people to want to take this over the spread. 92% of the money on the over on this total. Talk about these two teams, man. I've been talking about Toronto since game one, and they beat Atlanta in game one by 20 points. And I was like, okay, this Raptors team is legit. They have a freaking awesome lineup, in my opinion. No injuries right now. This lineup looks really good to me. It looks like a very strong team, like playoff-style team, in my opinion. But they lost 4 straight. Lost to the Bucks, lost to Dallas, to Spurs, to Houston, and they got beat pretty bad by some of these teams. Then they went on a 3-game run. They just beat Cleveland, they beat Memphis, and then they beat the Bucks. So they just blew the Bucks out. Looking pretty strong again. I'm hoping they keep this up. If you look at this Hawks team, the Hawks team's kind of hit or miss, man. They're all over the place. The one thing I will say is they lost to the Raptors already once this season by 20 points, and that was in Atlanta as well. So it's hard for me to want to take this Hawks team who's missing Trae Young. Trae Young is out, so their star facilitator, star point guard is going to be out. Now, they got a good lineup as well, man. Porzingis, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson. They got a strong lineup as well. This is going to be a good game. This game could go either way. For me in this game, it's Toronto Raptors, man. Plus 120 odds. There's no way I'm not running the Raptors on this. Not when my gut's been telling me the Raptors are this good. I'm taking the Raptors, especially with 90% of the money on them covering the spread. On Atlanta covering the spread. Got to take the Raptors here for me, personally. If you like Atlanta, don't let me sway you off Atlanta. This is a coin flip game. But for me, it's going to be Toronto all day. I like RJ Barrett in this one. I like Brandon Ingram in this one. I like Dyson Daniels rebounds and assists in this one. I like Jalen Johnson. There's a lot of plays you can get on this, and I wouldn't be mad if you're taking any of these players. Just make sure you play the lines a little bit better. If you want to buy them down some, obviously it's going to increase your hit rate, but those are some plays that I like on this game as well. Next game, we got the Grizzlies versus the Mavericks. I'm going to talk about this one. It's not going to be a game that I'm going to put a lot on. Memphis is minus 168, minus 4.5 on the spread, and the 231.5 total. 64% of the money is on the Grizzlies right now, and 85% of them covering a 4.5-point spread. You can see 97% of the money on the over on this total, so I probably won't touch that total. When you see money like this on an over or on any side, it's usually not good to follow the bet. I don't care if it cashes or not. I would not go with that. I'm just saying. So be careful. This line is sharp already, so they're going to have the total lines extremely sharp majority of the time. Any of the lines are going to be sharp from Vegas. They got freaking people getting paid millions of dollars a year to set these lines, so they're obviously going to be as sharp as possible. So all it takes is a couple whistles here, a couple whistles there, and this total stays under by 3 or by 2, and then this chalks. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just going to fade that. So taking a look at these two teams, neither team powerhouses, obviously. Mavericks injured all to heck, missing Anthony Davis, missing Kyrie, Derek Lively. Like they're just a beat up, bruised up team that I just can't trust too much. Memphis side of things, they're beat up as well. Starting 5 looks pretty good still. Ja Morant's just the problem here, man. Ja Morant has all the talent in the world, man. Ja Morant is a freaking phenomenal player and could be one of the best players in the league if he would try. The dude just gets caught up in so much other crap and has, do what you want, man. I'm not hating on Ja Morant by any means. I'm just saying, like, he could be so good if he tried, man. And I feel like he kind of just made it He feels like he made it already. Like there's no going up from here. Like let's just chill and do my thing. And that's cool, man. If you're complacent, you're complacent. I'm not saying he is complacent. I'm just saying that's just the way things look. Dude could be phenomenal, and this Memphis team could be so much better if he played to the caliber that he could. And I like Morant as a player, I don't like some of the things he does, but as a player, I do like the guy, and I think this Memphis team has potential if Morant could just get his stuff right. For me, I can't take Dallas here. Dallas hasn't shown me anything. I'm going to run with the Grizzlies at home. It's minus 168. I'm probably not going to touch the spread. If I took a spread, it'd probably be like minus 2.5. Probably about as high as I would go on the spread. Total in this game, like I said, 97% is on the over, so I'm probably not going to touch it. But I do think the Grizzlies get this dub at home, and that's just my personal opinion. Sorry about that. Next game we have is going to be the Bulls taking on the Bucks. One of my favorite games on the slate. All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to talk about these two games, and then after that, we'll jump into player props because I feel like I'm talking for like an hour. These games I don't really like anyway. This is OKC money line for me. There's definitely going to be some player props you can get here. This is going to be the Nuggets money line for me. There's definitely some player props in this game. It probably might be a decent game to target. We'll see. And then we got the Jazz. I mean, some of these games could be blowouts, so remember that. There's a lot of injuries in these two games as well. T-Wolves versus the Jazz, 11.5 on the spread here. Jazz obviously missing so much. To me, this is just Minnesota money line. Like these games, I'm just not touching them. They're super juiced on the money lines. The spreads are super high. The totals are probably going to be tough with missing all these players. It makes it hard to get a read on the total. So these three games are just a big fat X for me. There's some player props I like. I like marketing from the Jazz in every game. Marketing, I don't care if he sells me right now anyway. They don't have anybody. Marketing is that go-to guy. So you can target him. The Golden State side of things, not really anything I want to touch, really. Probably not going to touch anything on the Nuggets. Maybe Joker or something, Jokic. But OKC side of things, not really anything in this game either because of the blowout potential. OKC's got a good team, obviously. Kings, a lot of injuries. I'm not sure if Sabonis is out or not. Sabonis is questionable. I like playing Sabonis. Levine's playing, but with Sabonis questionable, if Sabonis plays, I kind of like this game. I'm going to be honest with you. I can see Sabonis popping off. There's some players I like. I'm not saying that they win, but I did call the OKC with their loss. I'm just saying versus Portland. I called Portland to win that game. I got kind of clowned on a little bit. I ain't going to lie, but I did call that one. Not saying I could call that again because that was lucky, but I'm just saying. Anyways, let's talk about these last two games, and we'll jump into these player props. So the first game, or the first of the last two, is going to be the Bulls versus the Bucks. Two of my favorite games on the slate right here. Milwaukee minus 160 at home. Milwaukee minus 4.5, and then 239.5 point total. 52% of the money is on the Bulls. 52% of the money on the Bucks, covering a 4.5 spread. And then 54% of the money on the over on this total. Taking a look at these two teams. Both teams looking freaking strong, man. The Bulls have one loss. That was versus the Knicks. They got beat in New York versus the Knicks. Looking at the Bucks. The Bucks just lost to the Raptors by 28. Giannis has obviously been dealing with some injuries. He seems to be fine now. No, he's not even on the injury news. Prince is questionable. Kevin Porter's out, obviously. The Bucks have looked way better than I thought. It's Giannis and friends. That's what I call this lineup. Looking at the Bulls side of things, Kobe White, Zach Collins obviously out. Dosunmu is questionable. Vucevic is fine. Giddey's in. They've been playing really good, man. For these teams at the lines that they have it at, so plus 156 versus minus 160, I got Bulls money line. I think the Bulls can get the dub here tonight in Milwaukee. That's just my personal opinion. Both fresh teams, both teams dealing with some injuries. Obviously, Chicago has the worst injuries right now, in my opinion. But they've been playing so good, man. 6-1. It's hard for me not to run with them here for plus money. So this could be a trap. Milwaukee could end up winning, and this is just like a trap to get everybody to get on the Bulls for plus money. If it is, I'm falling for the trap. But my gut and mind tell me the Bulls could get this win, and I would take the chance here at plus 156 odds. So you'll see me put some money on that in the Discord if you guys are already in VIP and and you're watching this. But last game, Heat versus Hornets. Another good game where you could possibly get some value. Heater minus 175, minus 4.5 on the spread, and then 241.5 total. Very high total. 70% of the money is on the Heat. 86% of the money on the Charlotte, covering a 4.5 spread, and then 90% of the money, 89% on the over on this total. So for me, this is going to be one of those games where you really got to look at the injuries. Neither team are powerhouses, mainly because of injuries. So, I mean, The Hornets aren't a powerhouse anyway. They're missing Josh Green, Brandon Miller, Sexton's probable, Williams is out, LaMelo's questionable. Miami's missing Bam, Hero, and Rozier. Rozier behind bars right now, possibly. I'm gonna keep making that joke because the dude sold my bread, and you know what, man? I could talk my ish. Anyways, looking at these two teams healthy, very good game in my opinion. Look at these two teams beat up, and it can really just come down to me if LaMelo plays. So for this game, I'm gonna fade any sportsbook plays. If LaMelo plays, I kind of like Charlotte to win the game. I mean, Miami has Norman Powell, Wiggins, Davion Mitchell. They got some decent players that can make plays. I like Norman Powell in his matchup, which we'll see here in a minute. I think Wiggins could have a good game. LaMelo's obviously LaMelo. He plays as a huge asset for this team right now. They got Bridges, Knuppel maybe. It's tough, man. It really is. I think Knuppel has a good game. I think we could touch him or take him. Okay, pause, bro. Gosh, why do I have to always make mistakes talking? Anyways, that's what I got for these games, guys. Let's jump into some player props. I've been yapping for like 30 minutes, and your boy's honestly getting tired of talking. So we'll go ahead and jump into some of these player props of the day. So before I jump into these, I do want to say, if you guys do want a free month of our VIP, you can right now sign up for any partnered app down below in the description. There's 8 of them. You get a free month for each one you sign up for. You can get up to 8 full months for free. Thunderpick is one of them that's not in the description, but it's in our Discord. I am doing a refund right now for anybody who signs up to Thunderpick and deposits $25. If you deposit $25 in there and send me a screenshot, I will send you $25 back. And I've sent literally probably $3,000 over the last 2.5 weeks to people with Cash Apping them back. So that will stay there probably for the rest of November if you guys want to test it out and try out Thunderpicks. Just another sportsbook/casino. I can't post any links here or whatever. I'm not going to shout it out too much because I don't want to get in trouble, but just saying, it is there if you guys do want to play it. Let's jump into these free picks, guys. So the first free pick of the day that I'm going to be taking, I said that very fast, is going to be our man Josh Giddey. Now, Giddey's going to have a good game tonight. Whether or not Giddey has a PRA game, a points game, a rebound game, an RA game, whatever, I don't know. But Giddey's going to have a good game, and I'm rolling with his assist right now at 7.5. The reason being, this line is boosted on parlay play right now. It is one of my favorite boosts, and I will show you guys parlay play, code Fantasy Aces for a deposit match and free VIP. Plus, they give you a free $20, or it might be $5. I think it's $5. But anyways, a free $5. You can see they have a lot of promos. They got Sar right here, which I may not play Sar. We'll see. They got Michael Porter Jr. points, which I'll be playing. You'll see. LaMelo's on here. Josh Giddey, 7.5 assists and 1.58 or 1.54x value. They got Jamal Murray on here. They got Westbrook. Lots of boosted plays right now. Lots of promos. What I'm going to say is you have to be weary about these promos. Use your analytical skills and choose the promos correctly. Some promos on some apps are traps. I've been doing this for 8 years, man. Like, I've seen it all when it comes to these boosts. It used to be really good. Now these apps are very, very selective with who they give promos to. I want you to look at the games that some of these promos are for. Cleveland, Washington, potential blowout. You come down here, you got, obviously LaMelo is game time decision, so we don't even know if he's going to play or not. This is a good one in my opinion. Jamal Murray versus the Golden State, potential blowout. Huge spread here. I mean, Jamal Murray for 2 threes really isn't that bad of a play anyway, even if it is a blowout. If it's a blowout, then he probably hits 2 threes, just throwing it out there. You got Russell Westbrook. You got Russell Westbrook, who's going against OKC, potential blowout right here. They got his original line boosted. So you got to be careful when you're taking it. It's not just parlay play. Every app does this. Chalkboard is the worst about doing these promos that are like almost bait. But anyways, I do like Josh Giddey here, 7.5 assists. One of my favorite promos they have. He's cashed it in 5 of 7 games on the season, 71% of games this season, averaging 9 assists. He's had 12 assists in 3 of his last 4 games. Dude has been an assist monster, going against a team that gives up 10th in the league in assists allowed. If you go to the point guard position, it's 14th. Shooting guard is 7th. So this isn't like a guy who's has a super easy matchup in assists or anything. Head-to-head versus the Bucks, he did cash it 2 of his last 3 games, all 3 from last season. He's got some players he can assist to. Let's take a look here. I mean, Vucevic being a big one. I mean, Giddey's he's a facilitator, man. He's a good player. I like Josh Giddey, despite the crap he got himself into as well outside of the basketball realm. But anyways, welcome to the Giddey party if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, 7.5 assists right now. I like Josh Giddey at 7.5 assists. I think he catches this line for us. Not really much more to say. His line's low. His original line's sitting at 8.5, and we're getting some value here at 7.5. If he chalks it, he chalks it. But I do like this play. That being said, who am I going to pair Josh Giddey with? I am going to pair Josh Giddey with our man Norman Powell. So we're jumping over to that high-scoring Charlotte versus Miami game. Miami with not very many players, and I'm taking Norman Powell to give us 25 PRA. His line's 24.5. I'll pair this with Giddey for a double-up. He's cashed this line 4 or 5 games. He's had 25 on the dot in his last 2 games, and you got to look at his minutes. He's played around 30 minutes per game on the season. Had 1 game versus Memphis where he chalked this line by 2. And he only played 24.6 minutes due to a blowout. Now, they really don't have many players. They don't have that mouths to feed, man. Like, Norman Powell should get his looks today. Head-to-head versus Charlotte last season, he cashed it 1 of 2 games. Not really much data we can go by based off of all the injuries they have. I mean, we can come over here and go to without those players, but I don't even know if there's games last season without those players. And I don't know why I did this when he didn't even play for Miami, so it didn't matter. Okay. That didn't happen. Anyways, 24.5. I like the line. If you pair it with Josh Giddey, we'll go ahead and pull it up. So Norman Powell. I'm sorry for the sniffles, guys. I really can't help it. 24.5 PRA. This does get up at 1.94x. You're going to see me put $250 on here. I'm playing this line to win 485. If you want to tell this slip, it is here. Norman Powell with a Josh Giddey boost right here, 250 for 485. If you want to play Josh Giddey for something else that's not boosted, you can take his PRA. Probably going to be a decent line as well. Josh Giddey's PRA is sitting at 39.5, 40.5. So if you wanted to play the same value, you'd have to take it at 39.5 for real. Like, that's the only way you could get your double up. If you went to 34.5, you would have to play a third prop. So that's why I went with assists. That's a very, very high line. Josh Giddey's good for it in most games, but let's see what Vucevic is. If you want to play PRA, Vooch might be the better option for PRA. So his PRA line sits around, we're looking for a 1.5. I mean, you can give 30 for Vooch, and that's probably going to be a decent line. But anyways, Giddey's who I like the most on this out of that game today. I like him at 7.5 assists. And I'm going to lock him in with Norman Powell. So not lock in Norman Powell as well. I think that's going to be a good line. Norman Powell's normal line is, 28.5. So if you want to play his original line, I don't dislike that either. So 29.5. Let's check Prizepicks. Dude, is it really not going to... The website is so buggy, man. Yeah, 29.5 for Norman Powell here as well. And you can't get him at, 26.5 is the lowest you can go on Prizepicks. So it's up to you guys what you want to do. I like the 24.5 line a lot. I just don't see him chalking that. And you throw that with some boosts. You can play it with a different boost if you want. You can run it with every boost. I think Norman Powell does cash. I wouldn't recommend doing that just in case, but I do like that play a lot. And you can run it with, which you don't like the Giddey one. You can run it with Sar or Porter or whatever you want to do, guys. You can mix it up. You don't have to play the exact same slips as me. But just throwing it out there, I do like those 2 plays. Jumping into pick number 3, it is going to be another boost. Michael Porter Jr., and I'm just going to throw this out there. This is a boosted play. I liked it before it was boosted. I had Michael Porter Jr. at 19.5 points. I was like, I think he drops 20. And I come on parlay play, and they have him at 17.5. And I was like, there's no way for me to take a 1.65x when there's a 1.5x for 2 points lower. I'm just not going to take it. So Michael Porter Jr. just ended up being here. It just ended up working out in my favor. And when I'm looking at a prop and then I go to a random app and that prop is discounted for a higher payout, I'm like, yeah, we're taking the prop. So Michael Porter Jr. at 17.5 points is one of my favorite plays on here. So Porter Jr., let's take a look at it. Obviously, they're going against the Pistons. The Pistons have a very good defense. The Pistons have been strong lately. Porter Jr.'s line is at 19.5. He's cashed 19.5, 3 of 7 games on the season. Now, if we come down here to 17.5, it gets a bit better. He's cashed it 4 of 7 games on the season. He hooked it 1 game versus Philly. So 3 of his last 4 games he's cashed, and in 2 of those games, he's dropped 30 points or more. 3 games this season, he dropped over 30 points. He's averaging 18.3 field goal attempts per game. 18 points is not a lot when you're shooting 20 shots. 9 3-point attempts. Look at the 3 points he shot here when he hooked. He shot 1 for 12. 1 for 12 attempts on 3 points. There's no way in heck that a player should shoot like that. So that's just a fluke. 8% on his field goal attempts after 12 threes. How can you, this you have to take with a grain of salt, man. Some of these losses. So they are missing Cam Thomas. They're going against a good point defense, top 5 defense in the league in terms of points defense for the Pistons. If you do come and look at the forward position, 1st and 16th in terms of points allowed to the forward position. They play good D. They had Markin in lockdown the other night, Yeah, I think it was marketing they had lockdown. Let me confirm that real quick. Detroit just played against yeah, the Jazz. Okay, I was making sure. Dude. That it was marketing versus the Pistons. But anyways, yeah, had marketing locked down the other night. Marketing struggled and sold us by 1. But I like this play, man. Michael Porter Jr. You can run his PRA, you can run his points. You like his rebounds and assists at 9.5. I'm probably going to have a decent amount on Porter Jr. His RA line is 9.5. He just doesn't have a lot of players to assist to. He's been getting double-digit rebounds in some of these games, man. Like he's just been killing it. I gotta roll with him, dude. So if you want his rebounds and assist line, 9.5. It was on here 9.5 and 10.5. I'm just gonna throw that out there. This literally got taken off a minute ago. So, anyways, 9.5 RA I like better than 10.5. I wouldn't touch the 10.5 personally. PRA line you can get at 29.5, but you can buy it down. There's going to be way more options. They'll have 25.5, 6.5, and 27.5 if you guys just wait a few hours. But Porter Jr., 17.5 points. Love the line. There's no reason for me not to take this one when I was going to play him anyway. So, got to lock that in. Who am I going to pair it with? I'm running it with Amon Thompson, guys. Running Amon Thompson back. Amon Thompson's line is a little bit lower than it has been. You can get his points line right now at 14.5. You can play his PRA as well. He's cashed at 5 of 7 games this season. He's dropped 28 and 27 points in his last 2 games. He's averaging 15 field goal attempts per game, and he's averaging 18.5 points per game. If you look at him last season, he averaged 14 points per game, and he averaged 10.3 field goal attempts. So he's getting 50% more field goal attempts almost so far this season, and he almost averaged 15 points per game last season. So you give him 5 more field goal attempts, and if you say 40%, you increase this by 40%, you increase this by 40% on average. That's the way you kind of got to look at these things in terms of it might be slightly different, but we're just going to do a head-to-head, a 1-to-1 ratio there, 40% to 40%. This goes up by 40%, and you're going up by almost, 6 points right here. So 6 points, you put them at 20 points per game on average. So great value for Amon in a game that should stay slightly competitive on the road versus the Spurs. Head-to-head last season, he only cashed just one of his last 4 games versus the Spurs. Look at his minutes. He played 19 minutes. He played 18 minutes and then 24 minutes. Right now this season so far, he's averaging right at 35 minutes per game. He's playing massive minutes. The dude's getting all the opportunities in the world. He's playing extremely well. He's a good player. I like Amon Thompson. At 14.5 points, I like this line. Now, he plays forward and he plays point guard position. They got him lined up in the guard position right now versus Castle. If you look at this, to the point guard position, they give him middle of the pack in terms of points per game. Shooting guards 5th. Overall, 2nd. If you go to the forward position, it's kind of middle of the pack anyway. So everything's looking middle of the pack except for center and shooting guard overall. But I like this play for Amon Thompson, 14.5 points. You pair it with Michael Porter Jr., you got over a double up. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Amon Thompson right here, 250, wins us what? 555, so it's a great little play right here in my opinion. You can come over here to track picks. I'm going to hit refresh to show you guys everything is legit. And you can see we are locked in right now, 500 to win 1,040. Amon Thompson with Michael Porter Jr., MPJ. Then we got Norman Powell with Josh Giddey. Lock them in if you like them, guys. Fade them if you don't. That's what I got for this video. I'm going to try to get these videos out earlier in the morning from now on. I've been posting them way later. I apologize for that. But that's what I got for today, guys. Hope you have an awesome day. See y'all in tomorrow's video, and hopefully we catch you guys out.